stop wanting certainty. The reality of life is that nothing is guaranteed, and you spend so much time overthinking about what if and what happens if I do this and the past and your regrets. But the reality is that nothing is ever certain. Sure, in the past you should have done that, you should have done this, and things would have likely ended up a lot better, but at the time you did the best you could do, and you learned lessons along the way. I'm going to reflect on examples from my own life as I'm sure you guys can relate, but for me, I always want a sense of certainty, especially when going to school. And that isn't something that's possible because the big thing that a lot of people struggle with is picking a career that they enjoy, but also pays well and has a good work life balance. But the reality is that sometimes you can't really figure out the right career. And even if you do somehow manage to do a lot of research and find a career that you may like and may seem stable at the time, you never know with the job environment how things actually will turn out. One day, you may go into a degree thinking you're going to finish after 4 years and have a six-figure paying job, but the reality is that anything can happen. And we're always stressing about things that we can't control rather than focusing in the moment and doing things to the best of our abilities and living in airtight compartments. I learned that from this book I read called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Andrew Carnegie, and that is something that I highly recommend. Is just to not worry as much because worrying isn't productive. What's productive is writing down what you're worrying about and seeing whether you can do anything about them. So try not to be too hard on yourself, but also make sure that just realize that the reality of life is nothing is guaranteed, and don't be trying to change reality in a way or trying to overthink things, thinking that by thinking more about something, the outcome will change. Because really, think overthinking is just going to drain you mentally, and you're not going to be mentally you'll be too mentally fatigued to actually focus and think properly and clearly to solve your issues. So in a way, it's counterproductive. So if I were you and I was overthinking and I couldn't sleep, just know that it would be useful to just write down everything you're worrying about and see if you can actually do anything about it. And for the things you can't do anything about, just drop them and forget about them.